Hi, I'm Caroline. Welcome to FYI Newsbyte. Here's what we found for your information this lunchtime. No remorse. The trial of Norwegian extremist Anders Behring Breivik has begun in court in Oslo. Survivors and family members of those he killed watched as the 33-year-old was escorted into court by cops. Breivik, who's on trial for killing 77 people in a bomb and shooting rampage last July, made a far-right salute as he entered the courtroom. He also told the court he did not recognise its legitimacy. After opening statements today, Breivik is set to testify for 5 days. 18 hours of bloodshed over. An extended Taliban attack on the Afghan capital of Kabul finally came to an end this morning when insurgents were overcome by heavy gunfire from Afghan forces. The Taliban say their assaults on embassies, government buildings and NATO bases was in response to NATO officials' recent claims that they were weak. It's reported 36 gunmen, 8 police and 3 civilians were killed.
I'm proud about my great brothers and their responded our security forces back to the enemy of the country. Of course it takes very long, which is we were worried about it, but at the beginning we succeed and we got back our dignity.
Sending in the inspectors, the ceasefire in Syria seems to be unravelling rapidly, even though the overall level of violence has dropped. Government attacks over the weekend have raised new doubts about President Bashar Assad's commitment to peace. It's reported today that regime forces are pounding the opposition stronghold of Homs with artillery shells and mortars. The violence comes as an advance team of 6 UN observers arrived in the Syrian capital to monitor the ceasefire. 25 more observers are expected to arrive in the coming days. Police in Brazil have arrested 3 people for allegedly killing at least 2 women, eating parts of their bodies and using their flesh to make stuffed pastries that they then sold on to neighbours. Police found the remains of the 2 women in the backyard of the suspect's house. Enraged neighbours then burned that house to the ground. The 3 suspects, a man, his wife and his mistress, belonged to a sect that preached about reducing the world's population. Local cops say they've confessed to the crimes. And rockets have exploded above North Korea, but this time it was part of a celebration as a glittering fireworks display lit up the sky above Pyongyang. The pyrotechnics show was the climax to days of special events intended to mark the 100th anniversary of the birth of Kim Il-sung, the country's founding leader. North Korea was in hot water last week after it launched a rocket which failed, exploding shortly after takeoff. FYI is interactive. From your opinions to news you think we should be covering, we want to hear it all.
FYI is available to you 24/7 online for all the information you need to know. Simply log on to tv3.ie/3e/FYI. Here you'll find the latest stories, video catch-ups, comments and the FYI blog. We're also available to you on Twitter and Facebook. Just log on to the website and hit the social networking shortcuts.
Time now for a look at the funniest clips on the web. Here's our top 5.
At number 5, how to avoid watery eyes when cutting onions. No guarantees for your fingers though. At number 4, not the wedding dance most brides dream of. At number 3, learning to say fire pit is turning explicit for this little girl.
Fire pits!
At number 2, when pull-up practice goes down a hit. And number 1 today, a sure sign someone needs a catnap.
Tune into FYI later for the newest downloads. We'll have more on the top stories, all of today's tech news, and Paul will be here with all of the sport. We'll see you back here at 6, right here on 3E.